Welcome back, everyone. This is a super sped up video. And it's also done quite a while ago, so forgive me, I'm super behind with editing. But this is a super cool little coaster mold I got that's sort of like some unique geode type shapes. I like that they're sort of like rocky waves. Anyway, I'm using Rezinarte pigments by Colourarte and Woody's Goodies for this pour. And some of these I had used for the first time. There was a little bit of a learning curve in this experience for me. And if I were to do these again, which I plan to, I would blend them better with a heat gun. With that being said, they have sold recently. And so that first color we put down is... It's either, I think it's Purple Galaxy, or maybe it's Andromeda by Rezinarte. It's a gorgeous color. Both of those colors are gorgeous. I'll show you the colors, but then I'm going way too fast. Because this video was like 50 minutes long, and it would be kind of boring to watch for you. So, again, I seriously did this like 2 months ago, so I'm a little bit behind. But I wanted to share with you because they were kind of fun and they turned out pretty cool. And I think the next time I do them, they'll turn out even better. So I've already mixed up my resin and I'm just adding it to the pigments. Normally it would be better to do that before starting, but I think I was still deciding. I'm showing you all the colors as I mix them, but not doing a great job staying in the frame, as usual. So, I used faux Rizzle for this, and I used a lot of different colors. I used Aquamarine by Rezinarte. I used Surf's Up by Rezinarte. I used a dark blue color. I used Indian Ocean by Woody's Goodies, which I love. I use it a lot. I used Frosty Pearl by Woody's Goodies. I used Abalone Shell by Colourarte. I even used one alcohol ink just to see if the resin reacted differently. However, this is a thicker resin, so without any heat gun or anything, the reaction is kind of minimal. But that's why I think I would have used a heat gun again. I was trying really hard to keep that mold clean. It was very unsuccessful. You do have to be careful when you use heat guns or torches on molds. I had one geode mold that I torched and it ruined it. So I think I will very lightly use a heat gun and not use an actual torch. I believe that is either Belize Blue or Twilight Orchid by Rezinarte. Beautiful colors. I mean, the camera is not even showing you the detail. It's pretty amazing. I believe that color is... Man, why do I always forget the name of that one? It's really pretty too. I'll try to remember and put it in the description. Tahitian Sunrise. I got it. It's got a very pretty color shift to it. And that is Indian Ocean by Woody's Goodies. I use that one a lot in some of my like resin pours where I do like the crosses or the Texas. It's very beautiful like sea foam iridescent color. You could tell that I was kind of going for like maybe a little bit of an ocean look here. I think that is Aquamarine by Rezinarte. Pretty sure. Sorry about my arm there. I was starting to realize at this point, I think, that I needed this to spread out a little bit more so I didn't have to mix up more resin. So what I'm doing there is kind of backfilling to kind of force the resin to spread out a little bit. So I know it seems like I just had a major like attention deficit moment, which is not super uncommon for me, but that's the reason why I started doing that. I made a boo-boo. And I'm still taking some of my leftover epoxy and trying to fill in the blanks a little bit. That looks like Surf's Up by Rezinarte. It's a beautiful color. You can tell that I also was a little heavy-handed on some of the colors in the beginning on one side versus the other. It's part of the learning process, I suppose. Sorry that everything I'm trying to show you in the video is all over the place because I realized it was just too long. That is Frosty Pearl by Woody's Goodies. It's a beautiful color. You guys may hear my washing machine in the background. So now all I'm really trying to do is fill in enough color toward the front to still allow room for the pearl color. So that's some Indian Ocean again. Excuse me. Which is a beautiful color. You may also hear my dog drinking water. They don't really start, you know, chewing their toys or drinking water or making strange noises until we're trying to record a video. And then they start doing things that sound really strange. Hey buddy, sit down. You're making a lot of weird noises. So now we're just trying to fill in with some more Frosty Pearl, which is just a really beautiful pearl white. So typically with this kind of a mold, it needs to sit overnight before you attempt to unmold it. You can go in and do like a clear coat, excuse me, if you want to just cover it with like a flood coat of epoxy. I don't typically do that unless it's uneven or needs to have a clear coat for some reason. But they unmolded really nicely. I actually got the mold on Amazon, I think. I will try to remember to link it below. It was a reasonably priced mold. It's pretty sturdy silicone. You know, I did torch the bubbles, but I didn't torch it otherwise. So that's what I'm doing here. But a lot of people will tell you not even to torch the bubbles, which is kind of difficult because if you use a thicker viscosity epoxy, the bubbles will pop or rise to the top and mess up your coasters. So, and typically the top is the top of your actual coaster. So, excuse me. I like the molds where you can at least torch the bubbles out, but if you can't torch the bubbles out, you could use a heat gun and just not stay there too long. So as you can tell, I'm trying to move it to blend it a little bit and to stretch out where there's way more color on one side versus the other. But in hindsight, I wish I had grabbed the heat gun and just moved it around a little bit. I think I was a little paranoid about burning it after I had burned my other mold. So now I'm just trying to kind of move it out so that when they dry, they're similar in, you know, dark color to light color ratio. Because these did not blend as well as I would have liked, I put them on major sale when we were at a craft market. Typically you probably wouldn't sell epoxy coasters for that cheap because epoxy is very expensive. And so, but I marked them down because they were still beautiful. And, but if I were to do them again, I would definitely merge the colors a little bit differently. And I would like to make another set. So in the comments below, if you have suggestions on colors that we should use, I don't know if we should just do the blues and greens again, kind of get that ocean wave feel, or if we should do some other colors. I would love to hear your feedback. I probably will be doing another one soon. But again, thanks so much for watching my little experiment. This is several months old, so I'm so sorry it took me so long to get it edited. And I will try to post these results on Facebook and Instagram, so our social media links are also below. They did turn out really pretty. So that's kind of what they look like unmolded. But again, thank you so much for watching. We would love it if you would like and subscribe to our channel. Leave us a comment below. Let us know what you think. And thank you so much for your continued support.